Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and oh my god, I did a lot today. Oops, sorry about that, Sir Emmerich. Um, I, garden I was, working on finally, ready to go. It's just, want to keep it wet for now, and then take the hoe to it to try and break up the soil a bit and stir it around a few more times, and then it should be ready for our planting. And then try doing some tidying around my room here. It's looking a bit better, sort of. But, man. Let's just get on with the story, shall we? Oh yeah, I am expecting house guests, in a little bit. So if you start hearing a whole bunch of noises, I'll try to close my door to make sure none of that comes through. But yeah, that will be why. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the rising stones and make our report to the Antecedent. Ere we sally forth in the defense of Ishgard, we must needs consult with the Antecedent. Nidhogg. He is the source of our suffering. If we do not fell the worm, these endless clashes count for naught. Heretics, Travanians, old familiar enemies. This is something beyond all imagination. Let us go, Bobby. Flap 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 flap. It's like my posture is really poor here. There we go. What was that? Where'd that go? I missed it. I want to know what that car was, because that was not the regalia. Hang on a moment. That is not a player's carbuncle, is it? Is that the carbuncle that's always over here? It's gone now. Wait, no, it's back. What is happening here? That is so strange. I have no idea what to make of that. Hello there, Totoro. If you're looking for the Scions, they've already left for the Alliance nations. I do hope Ishgard will be saved. Considering the recent history, will there be any amongst the Alliance willing to aid the Holy See? Ishgard has few friends at the bargaining table. Though I have never seen one myself, it is said that Dragon's Lair just beyond the borders of my homeland. Yeah, I think I've talked to all of you about this before. So I'll just go talk to Menphilia. Man, how much of there is of this to go?
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
I actually really like that line. For those we have lost and for those we can yet save. I like it. Just gonna double check the recording here, see how things are going. 11 minutes. Alright, Manvilia, what do we have? I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alpha now. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Korthus. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief Slaftborn of the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. Only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Totteru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of the practical challenges we may encounter. It is impossible to predict how many will rally to Ishgard's call for reinforcements. I do not envy those responsible for planning the city's defense. Ugh. So Manfilia has commended the Scions to Ishgard's cause, has she? Though she makes her pronouncements with unshakable confidence, I can only imagine how agonizing it was for her to arrive at this decision. So many lives at stake. The threat of war sows panic and confusion, and routine tasks can't offer a calming stability. Being sure the larder is properly stocked, for instance. We are rather close to Korthus, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Byrn. I have 101 things to discuss with Slaftborn. I love Totteru. I was just wondering if one of the kids had anything new to say. And so I'd like you to spread the word to the settlers and adventurers in town. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Korthus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I am certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at the siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. I'll see if I can't persuade a few friends to join the cause. While I do that, why not try asking around for volunteers here in the Toll? I dare say you'll find a few who are willing to help. But do make sure they're up to the task, will you? You want to fight the dragons, not feed them. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I am not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you. But that ain't what I wanted to talk to ye about. I need ye to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilred was there with the 4th that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have ye? God damn it! I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilred stopped turning up for duty, then black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ul'dah. So now, of course, half the braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. He would never do that. Folk like to believe our company's a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more'n a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing as binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and the steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilred. And he wrote, "You've got a war to wage, so I'll let ye get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing ye, Byrnjolf." You know, I think it would have been interesting to have Ulred as a traveling companion. Like a kind of apprentice. Hang on. He has my favorite staff in the world. Oh my god. That thing is so adorable. So Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. Ah, but I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's toll. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do? What to do? There's the carbuncle again. And there's the carbuncle's owner. Volunteer my services in the defense of Ishgard? I think not. The dragons claimed the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. It was to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventurer in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. What on earth? Oh my god, I love that Chocobo's drip. And the fact that there's a cactar in its back. Oh, that is so adorable. Sell me blade to the Ishgardians? Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked for one of them knights before, you know. Watch me like a bloody hawk he did, still I'd put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. I meant to mount up, not use the... Silly me. Well, I'm dumb. I'm a dummy dum-dum. To think that I'd see a day when Revenant's Toll became a bustling hub for adventurers. Almost warrants giving the place a new name, wouldn't you say? That said, the influx of visitors doesn't come without problems. I didn't know there was a fate that started over here. It's an escort mission too, it looks like. For Tartaru most of all, and those of us who have to give an ear for her griping. There you are, Byrnjolf. So, did you sway any hearts? One or two, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4. Not including Staffborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant's Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Oh, I've been so caught up in the recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alphino. Apparently, the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight. And they've requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you best make your way to Ul'dah, or you'll be late. Alphino said that he would meet you on the Royal Promenade. Alphino asked that you join him on the Royal Promenade. Don't worry, Staffborn and I can handle the preparations here. Now get going. It wouldn't do to keep the Alliance leaders waiting. The dog's barking. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we? Voices.
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alfino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sellswords? Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Haurchefant and Sir Emeric to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. Captain Milbert, what news? Then the assault has begun? We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durenair at the Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights, and then the Dravanian horde, ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I am able. Byrnjolf, I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defenses at the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marcelin at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. Seek out Sir Marcelin, the keeper of the... Okay. Lost track of my teleport. You are the appointed captain of the Sellsword contingent? Then welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursory to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the steps of faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. Ah, you're here. I should not have left at all. Oh. You've all come. Thank you. This must be your home. Well, you're Ellison, but... Oh. How could we not? Your homeland is in peril. I guess those two don't say anything. I wonder who they are. How far can I go here? Not very far. This is the end of it. Yep. Can't even end. Oh, there we go. That's pretty cool. You can get this close to the city, huh? You know what's weird, though? Is this the bridge we're going to be fighting on? Because this looks nothing like the bridge I remember from the cutscene or the, fight that's supposed to happen eventually. Oh, hey, it's that guy. And whoever that person's supposed to be. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements? Decimated, you say? Gervadian devils! Damn their scaly hides! Hold fast to your grief and fury, sir. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the steps of faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the sea of clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danafin's Collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, the thrice-damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection. And thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. Should the Gervadians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. I would ask you and your comrades to accompany our defenders at the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? Scions of the Seventh Dawn? We cannot well stand idly by while the Horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. Indeed, I do otherwise would go against all that Master Louisoix has taught us. As for where we may be of most assistance, I think it prudent we divide into 2 groups. Ida and I will join the rear guard. Right, the dragons should reach us. If the dragons should reach us, we'll be sure to give them what for. Thank you, all of you. Pray speak with me again when your preparations are complete, and together we shall stand against the Horde. I'm told the first commander of the Temple Knights, Lucia, will be leading their forces, but by all accounts, it would seem we're in quite capable hands. Would that we Would that we could say the certainty that none of the wards will be breached, but our enemy is resourceful. The dragons may never again have such an opportunity to strike at the Holy See. You can be certain they will not squander it, so we must be vigilant. No matter what happens, we cannot let them cross the bridge. I trust you are ready, then? Good. Come, let us make for the battlefield. This isn't a trial anymore? Oh dear, how is this going to turn out? Yeah, big. They are very big. Oh hey, it's these guys. I hope they'll be okay. Whoa, okay.
Finish this quickly, shall we?
I shall make it quick. To me!
Oh, that's not a Sinian? Yeah, then. There's that guy.
No moving back.
You idiot, walked right into the AoE.
This one'll sting.
Ida did an LB. Justinian!
Know your folly.
The dragons! They are withdrawing! Victory is ours! One of Nidhogg's greatest champions, slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Isard and all the rest. Yet I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will sate my lance. Everyone's tired now. They all made it out. By the Fury! You have driven the Horde from the steps of faith! You! A stranger to our land! I confess, I did not think you capable of such a feat. Yet you yielded not an ilm in the face of dragons that would turn my brother knights' blood to ice. The Fury herself must walk at your side. 'Tis a rare opportunity to find oneself confronted with so terrible a foe. Rarer still to emerge victorious. I should hope we need not contend with more of Nidhogg's champions. Phew, that was exhausting. The famed dragoons of Ishgard commanding the skies of battle was truly a sight to behold. It was a close victory, but a victory nonetheless. I think we have earned a brief respite. Byrnjolf! The dragons are routed. Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil was also fierce. But my crystal braves were not found wanting. Commander Levier, Byrnjolf, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray, let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with the proper courtesy. We have indeed achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire. But step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Ul'dah and reassign those braves whose squad suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. We will see to informing the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfilia. To think that I'd see the... Oh, never mind. I've already read that one. I am faced by a merciless mountain of administrative core. I am faced by a merciless mountain of administrative chores. Thankfully, this is one battle I am well equipped to fight. I guess Tartaru is the only one with something new to say, since her appearance has changed in the room. Byrnjolf, welcome back. Alphino sent word of the siege, and of course of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Byrnjolf. Thank you. You must be weary, Byrnjolf. And now may very well be your only chance to... And descendant. A messenger from Ul'dah arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ulnamo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah, in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers' contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. And are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? But mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Mundrida, and I, for one, am in no mood for a carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Wait, that is what she said, right? Yeah. Tartaru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Curious. I have never known Tartaru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? Really, you haven't noticed? She's been wanting to do more for the Scions, I believe. Well. Tartaru's troubled. I am certain of it. Would you mind speaking with her? I fear any concern I show will be met with stoic denials. Have you witnessed the scene over yonder? Such is the fate of he who would toy with women's hearts. Let us see how Thancred's silver tongue wags its way out of this one. In Doma, fidelity is a highly prized virtue. Perhaps it is a difference in culture, but this situation lies outside my comprehension. Do we not have more pressing matters to attend to? A primal shackles its faithful with the bonds of eternal devotion, and I fear the power Thancred wields over his admirers is rather more fickle, especially when each realizes she is not the sole object of his affection. Oh, gods. Make it stop. My sides are about to burst. Why don't we leave these others to the squabbling, Makote Man-stealer. He said that I was his favorite muse. Well, I'm the one who procured the rarest of ores. You'd best watch your tongue. Ladies, please, this is no way to... Oh, hello, Byrnjolf. I was just, entertaining some friends. Oh, gods. Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. Tataru? I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think of it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Oh, Byrnjolf, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. You always know what to say, Byrnjolf. I'm glad we had this little chat. I didn't even say anything. But I'm glad to be in here for you. I like that person's drip. Sorry, I didn't mean to stick my chocobo in your face. My mind is made up. Yes, Tataru? You have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, but with all the recent excitement, Byrnjolf made me realize that there's no time like the present. And time is what I'm here to ask you for. I am not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you have certainly earned the rest. But I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, Antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers and the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Hoary Boulder and Coltonet have been promoted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. Where are those two at, anyways? And so it seems only right that I, too, should acquire the power to defend myself, and others, more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Whoa, hey! Oh, there they are. Speaking of the devil. That's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tartaru so determined. As aught befell with which I might help an antecedent? Not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Ah, yes. Pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol, and I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. My thanks, Antecedent. I take my leave of you. You are a welcome sight as always, Byrnjolf. I thank the 12 not only for Ishgard's salvation, but also your safe return. Minfilia is at a loss for words. The power to defend oneself? Tartaru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think on it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Mayhap she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanists' Guild in Limsa Limenza? Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. I'll ignore the other one for now. I'll just focus on Tartaru for the time being. Limsa. I need something to drink. It seems to be really foggy out right now. Oh, and it's very noisy too. Alright, let me get out of there. Has she already gone downstairs? Enthusiasm is well and good, but in excess. I pray I was not wrong. Byrnjolf, what are you doing here? I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here. Don't you see? I, Totaru Taru, shall become a great and powerful arcanist. And now, at Mistress Dubergheim's behest, I have no idea how to pronounce that name. I must go and complete a special training exercise. Until we meet again. Ah, if it isn't Byrnjolf, what brings you to the guild? So you are acquainted with our newest member. An arcanist of your experience must see that her potential is somewhat lacking. Nevertheless, she would not be denied, and goes now to undertake her first trial, a simulated inspection of 3 crates, and doubtless recall receiving similar training under Kalia's supervision. A thought occurs to me. Why not oversee Tartaru's training yourself? Given your relationship with the girl and your familiarity with the task, I think you the ideal choice. You need only head to the cliffs south of the Zephyr Gate, as before, and observe at a distance. I guess I beat her here. O'er azure seas to pirate's port, where she's met her shining jewel. For to bring the smuggler's plans to naught came the lass whom none could fool. Beat 'em with a backdraft, gut 'em with a gust, deck 'em with a downburst. Go, carbuncle, go. Oh, are those crates I spy? Ah, and this must be the true test. But we're ready for them, aren't we, Carbuncle? It's like, nope, I'm going on an adventure. Carbuncle? I'm off to see the world! Ah! Come back, Carbuncle! I should have known you'd come, Byrnjolf. You needn't say a word. Your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Mistress Dubergheim of my intention to withdraw from the guild. Arcanima, like so much else, is beyond me. Maybe my brain just hallucinated something there. Oh, nope. Maybe not. Maybe it's just, there's so many people here that everything's trying to load in. Man, Lemenza's crowded. And just so you know, my brain completely forgot about the Ethernet. Ah, well. Ah, back so soon? How fared our fledgling Arcanist? Abysmally, Mistress Dubergheim. Abysmally, as Byrnjolf will testify. I was wrong to become an Arcanist. Wrong as usual. I am completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Tartaru, if that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strengths in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helped you to gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of Arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? You are too kind, Mistress Dubergheim. Though I could not overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. What? Ancient ways, timeless once? Oh. Tartaru is a bright-spirited girl. If she could but focus her nervous energy. As fetching as these garments are, I fear I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to the Rising Stones without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That is, if you don't mind accompanying me for a little longer. Wonderful! Then to Costa del Sol we will go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it will pay off. Oh. Is that feast for the wedding or something? Felling primals, solving mysteries. You certainly know how to keep yourself busy. That did have to do with Hildebrand. Yes, this is it. This is where the man of the drowning wench told me to look. There is a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of year in Bloodshore, one which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let us be off. I wonder what is happening down there. What fortune, I've already found one. Oh, what fortune? I've already found one. Would be so kind as to keep watch while I work. This should only take a moment. Open up, you little... Yeah, this is proving more difficult than I thought. What? What was that? Well fought, Byrnjolf. Well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for their reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I might make charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people, in a way. Right, well, I mustn't keep Flamin waiting. There's work to be done, and lots of it. We're to secure provisions for the Scions in the Laminzen markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the antecedent, and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, Byrnjolf, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about, until we meet again? So, what is this? Wait, Yora? What are you doing there? Wait. Am I missing something? Why are you down? Why are you here? She's from the other Final Fantasy MMO, isn't she? Hold on, is there a special quest or something that I'm missing? Let me head to the Aft Castle, because that's usually where these things are. Usually. No. Oh. A journey to remember. So I've already done this quest. I'm certain of it. But I don't think I have the armor. Well, I'll do this on my own. Mainly because of, well, I'm certain I've done this before. I have a video of it somewhere. I think I did it on Laura. I do want the armor, though. That's different from the Heaven's Turn armor, right? Yes, it is. By the way, how does that bandana look on me? Or, what is that? Amatsu Hashigane? Eh, it doesn't look so bad. I like it. It's some decent armor. Yeah, I'll do that on my own. Okay, back to Revenant's Toll. We are almost done with the Realm Reborn. Oh, everyone's gone. Hang on a second, I need to go to the bathroom actually. Okay. Welcome home, Byrnjolf. I gather you found Hotaru in Limsa Limenza. My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure, and while it did not end as she had hoped, I suspect that it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hoary Boulder with a capable adventurer? Well, I am sorry to say that I have as yet been unable to do so. Now I realize that you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a man of your talents, but I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forgo rest and assist us in this matter? I kind of like how she's like, you are far more... You are far more important than being to be used on bodyguard work. But honestly, I think after all the things that my character has been through, just doing some bodyguard work might just be a nice bit of change. You don't have to worry about the fate of a nation and all that. I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to... Oh yeah, just read that. Generous to a fault. I thank you, Byrnjolf. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we ask the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Hoary Boulder and Coltonet were to act as two such escorts, as was the third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Byrnjolf. Hoary Boulder will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. I had no idea that you would be assisting us personally, Byrnjolf. My sincerest apologies for dragging you into our affairs. Ah, Byrnjolf! Is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coltonet? Our misfortune is becoming a blessing, an opportunity to serve alongside the warrior of light himself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True, but our mission is the same. Separated by bulbs we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns, Byrnjolf, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the shroud. The South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All he need do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Byrnjolf! In spirit! We shall be together every step of the way. At last, the Scion's man deigns to grace me with his presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Isomhar. Come, we are late enough as it is. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please, stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. You wish me to deliver my report to your masters in a timely fashion, yes? Stand aside and let me work. I see we have both completed our respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome, though if I could make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, Snakebolt awaits, shall we? Right about here, yes. As before, I would ask that you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. Pray see to your duty, as I must to mine. When you say almost complete, how... Okay. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though, perhaps that should come as no surprise. I am not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air about hereabouts. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. As before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and ensure our safety. No, I have not yet finished. Return to your watch. This data should prove invaluable to... Sniff, sniff. Sniff, sniff. Ye gods! What is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantoses? While my back was turned? Quickly now to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and a fall. You chose to paddle in the Icker a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient ether concentrations since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's fount. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now, come along. You should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray, find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. We will be here all night if you do not leave me be, young man. Yes, yes. Quite high, yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th astral era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference, or is there something else? Something else. Something else. Scion! Scion! Come here! I need you! Fear not, my friends! Help has arrived! There you are, Byrnjolf. Hori and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. Gutted like a hog, but not by one. No. These wounds were made with a blade. It doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nary a mark on his sword or his shield. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What cause had Wilred to come here? What should we do? We will see to the scholar's protection, Byrnjolf. Aye, and the boy's remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The antecedent will want to know what happened here. And so do I. We spoke a few times in the Rising Stones. He wasn't as experienced as some of the other braves, but gods, he had passion. Gods, what a waste. Pray, leave matters here to us, Byrnjolf. You must return to the Rising Stones and inform the antecedent at once. I have never been this close to a... Oh gods. Man, the Rising Stones is so empty right now. Byrnjolf, you are returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort chafe so? Wilred dead? Mayhap murdered? But the 12, how can that be? I will send word to Alphino at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Wilred's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this, and why? The recent events weigh heavily on our minds. We must needs set them aside for now. We are come to a defining moment in Eorzean history. The grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard, but the first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbors to the north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of the Eorzean alliance. Failing that, it should at the very least serve to bring our nations closer together. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? We have bested Dravanians and Ascians both. Against desperate odds, we have fought and won. But the primals still plague us, and the Empire still plots our subjugation. And our triumphs, remarkable though they are, were bought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies, broken on the steps of faith, and before our eyes, in this very room, our dear friend Moonbreda. This is the victory we have wrought, and it is as bitter ashes in my mouth. I would sooner stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it is a royal banquet, and all of our allies will be in attendance. It is our duty to present a united front that we might serve as a beacon of hope to all. It seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. I instructed the others to meet us in Ul'dah, that we might make our grand entrance together. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Totteru and the men a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of the fragrant chamber. Off to the big soiree, Byrnjolf. Raise a glass for me, eh? Or not. You don't look best pleased, lad. Something on your mind. By the Navigator! Wilred's dead? Gods damn it! They must know they've been rumbled. Sod it. 'Tis past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where certain funds were coming from. So I had to dig around, on the quiet like, and sure enough I found it. Seems a fair bit of coins made its way into the Braves' coffers, courtesy of a Dodo consortium. A daft name for a business if ever I heard one. Which is what first gave me an inkling that something weren't right. So I went through the ledgers again, and found another half-dozen donations from organizations with stupid bloody names. Didn't take long to find the common thread. All were owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, I'll give the bastard credit. He showed us up for the amateurs we are. Short of calling one of his businesses the bloody bribery consortium. I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules on financial contributions. The gods only know how many men of the first and third are taken to Legi's coin. And now we know as some of 'em are. I'd wager me right eye they're the ones what did for Wilred. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kind of questions, bound to attract attention. He was. Should have seen it at the time, but I didn't. God's damn me. Still, I don't see what Teleji hopes to accomplish. He hid his scheme with all the care of a drunk pisson in the wind. No, he's cleverer than this. So we need to be clever too. That's the only way we'll ever repay this debt of blood. We'll purge every one of them traitorous bastards from our ranks. On that you have my word. And Byrnjolf, mind yourself when you're in Ul'dah, eh? We're heading into a storm. I can smell it. The kind what'll sweep a man overboard and drag him under before he knows it. What am I doing? Not even going to ask. I do hope Ida is not under the impression that we are here to make merry. We are ostensibly the descendants' escort, after all. It's a banquet, so there'll definitely be food. But will there also be dancing? And if there is, will it be before or after the food? Dancing on a full stomach is no fun, but neither is being hungry. What to do? Is that? No, just my imagination. Pay no attention to me. There's a habit from my misspent youth, looking over my shoulder from time to time. Oh? I wonder what you see, my friend. Well, I won't be able to tell from here. If I did not know better, I should think our bard had run afoul of another jilted lover. That could be. We have been waiting for you, Byrnjolf. The celebration is due to begin shortly. I had hoped that we might make our introductions together, but Mistress Momodi just sent word that you are needed at the quicksand. We will go on ahead, Byrnjolf. Pray join us once matters at the quicksand are resolved. Give my regards to Momodi, and let her know that I will call upon her anon. I appreciate you dropping in on such short notice, Byrnjolf. I know you've got places to be, so I won't waste your time. You're friends with a crystal brave by the name of Alianne, aren't you? Former adventurer? Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure you recruited her yourself. Well, anyway, she came round for a meal not long ago. And before she left, she asked me to give you a message. Said if the others ended up dragging you to the feast, I was to see you got it before you made your grand entrance. Meet me at the station west of the Coffer and Coffin. There's something I must show you. A short message, I'll grant you, but she thought long and hard before picking those words. Barely touched her food, too. Under other circumstances, I'd have thought those signs of a troubled heart, but something tells me she ain't planning to confess her undying love. Best not keep Alianne waiting, or your friends at the feast, for that matter. As you stand upon the platform, your thoughts begin to wander, and all too soon, the ghosts of comrades lost and enemies slain begin to fill by your mind's eye in solemn procession. Clearing your head, you scan the horizon, but see no sign of Alianne. Straining your ears to listen, you hear the chatter of Cockern and the buzzing of syrphids, but no approaching footfall. Sighing, you bow your head, only to notice the vial lying at your feet. Byrnjolf, is that you? What brings you out this way? Lieutenant Alianne? I know. I haven't seen her about. Had she come this way, I guarantee we would have crossed paths. I must have passed this spot a dozen times. We're to patrol the city's environs on account of the royal banquet. Captain's orders, you understand. Speaking of which, isn't it about to begin? You should be with the other honored guests, enjoying your well-deserved respite. Aye, pray return to Ul'dah, Byrnjolf. If I chance to meet the lieutenant, I will tell her you were here.
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line. Through my weakness, the glorious house of Ul has all but disappeared beneath the sands. For want of the strength to raise it up again, it were better that it fall. Forgive me, but I know not what else to do.
Gods, I envy you. All that food and wine, but I cannot think of a man more deserving. Enjoy the feast, Byrnjolf. You've earned it. I reckoned you'd head straight to the feast after meeting with Alianne. What's the matter? No appetite? This tiny glass container appears to have been used before. But to contain what, pray tell? So she wasn't there. But this was, eh? Let's see. Looks to me like an alchemist's vial, but beyond that, I can't say. Might be best if you hold on to it for safekeeping, though. Why? Any road, no use worrying about Alianne. I'm sure she'll turn up before too long. But when she does, we'll soon find out what this was all in aid of. Besides, you've got more important things to think about. Would you believe that while you were away, another message arrived for you? Well, one did. One delivered by the Sultana's handmaiden, no less. Seems her grace desires a private audience. Her handmaiden will meet you on the royal promenade and escort you to the Sultana's chambers. So what are you waiting for? Go on then, go.
You needn't trouble yourself so. Your Grace is most kind, but it is no trouble to me, rather an honor. If your Grace is ready, I shall summon the Warrior of Light. I am.
Everyone looks to be in high spirits.
Give me a moment. Sorry. This is going to be a very long cutscene, by the way. Okay, everything looks to be in order.
with good cause.
A common victory may serve to unite even the most unlikely of allies. You've brought us one step closer to a united Eorzea.
Your modesty knows no bounds, Antecedent. Were it not for your efforts, Sir Emmerich would never have become such a steadfast ally. When he convinces his countrymen to rejoin the Alliance, we shall all reap the benefits, military and economic. I tell you, we are on the cusp of a new era of unity and prosperity. Territorial disputes are all that divide us now. But I have faith that we will find an amicable solution in time. And failing that, I'll have my trusty warrior of light box the ears of all concerned. Speaking of whom...
He will be joining us shortly. A matter at the quicksand required his attention, but it did not sound serious.
Oh, I guess it's not this one. That's going to be the long cutscene. Well, it is coming up, so hang on. No idea what they're doing. Thank you for coming, sir. Her Grace is most eager to speak with you. If you require a moment to compose yourself before your audience, you may have it. Or if you are ready, it would be my honor to escort you to Her Grace's chambers forthwith. Yep. Well, upon proceeding to the Sultana's bedchamber... Oh my. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Oh, I have time. Mute.
Enter. Your Grace, your guest has arrived. Pray, come in, and take your ease.
"'Tis well that the steps of faith held against the Horde."
And what of the city proper?
We sustained some few losses, but the heart of our nation yet beats with vigor. I am not certain I could say the same had we not received your most generous aid.
An attack on Ishgard is an attack on the realm. We stand together or fall divided.
Such noble words, after the fact.
I had hoped to speak in the presence of Her Grace, but it seems she has been delayed. That being the case, Now would seem as good a time as any. Honored friends, pray allow me to convey Ishgard's warmest gratitude for your part in the defense of our lands. Tis upon the success of this very alliance that my recommendation to throw open the gates of judgment shall be founded. With the blessing of the Archbishop, it is my hope that Ishgard will soon be reunited with her long-estranged sister nations, and that Eorzea shall once more be as one.
Very well.
Is aught amiss?
Nothing to worry about. I shall return anon. You wished a word, Yu Hase?
You may go. Your Grace. You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion. I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy. You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate. 'Tis mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few.
Well, I'd recommend making sure it's a liberal, progressive, and eventually socialist republic. Because I'm already seeing what a capitalist society is becoming. Especially one where liberalism has died. And without liberalism, there can be no path to progressivism, from what I understand. And then no way to socialism. I think I understood what was discussed on the podcast I was listening to.
Yet, that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground. Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand. You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me? I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. How much we have both changed since that day we met beneath the Sultan tree. And the days ahead promise to change us further still. I hope that we will recognize ourselves when all of this is over.
Your Grace! Her Grace, the Sultana, is dead. Poison in her wine? You did this!
Spare us your denials! I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance. I hereby accuse you of regicide! Men, arrest this viper!
I just realized. My axe is missing.
Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control.
And what do you hope to achieve with this mutiny?
Why, that which we have striven for all along, Commander. The salvation of Eorzea.
What is the meaning of this?
Knights from the homeland. This cannot bode well.
Lord Commander, we have received an urgent message from the Holy See. I am grieved to report that your serpentine foes have resumed their assault. Needless to say, your presence is urgently required. These knights have come to bear you swiftly home to Ishgard.
A surprise attack?
We've had no such word from our men, and the timing is most fortuitous to catch us away from the city.
Most fortuitous indeed.
Lord Commander, we must away!
You have been a most gracious host. I hope that I might one day return the favor. Come, Lucia.
Whatever is going on in there? Ah, the ever-dutiful brass blades. I must apologize, but my dance card is rather full. Another time, perhaps?
Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You stand accused of committing acts of espionage in service to the Garlean Empire.
Espionage? What in the seven hells are you talking about? Ah, if you're referring to that business with the Ultima weapon, then you must understand, I wasn't myself.
Under interrogation, an Imperial prisoner revealed your involvement in numerous dealings with the enemy. We've also been investigating reports that you are a practitioner of forbidden arts. You'd best come along with us.
You invite me to your party and now you want me to leave? I do so detest receiving mixed signals. Come then. I believe I've lost my appetite for this farce of a celebration.
You go too far, Lord Adeleji. By what right do you march armed soldiers into a royal banquet and eject state visitors without her grace's consent? You treat the brass blades as your personal army and show contempt for the throne with your every act. Leave us, now.
Is that an order, General? Mayhap you have mistaken me for one of your flames. You will find I am not so slavishly obedient. And you lecture me on personal armies. As for your outrageous claim that I have shown contempt for the throne, let all here observe that it was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant. I expect this is your idea of defending the nation, is it? This and diluting our forces through these distractions in Cartano and Kurthis. I do begin to see how the ranks of the Immortal Flames came to be riddled with Garlean sympathizers. You are plainly unfit for command.
Wait, goddamn you. Your words make no sense. What assassin?
You mean to say you don't know? We caught the vaunted champion of the Scions in her Grace's private chambers, not moments after the deed was done.
No! No, this cannot be!
Save your breath. You will need it to plead your case. You and your entire order are to be tried for this atrocity. Bring in the prisoner!
This man stands accused of poisoning Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul Namo, and as suspected accessories to the crime, all members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn will be detained for questioning.
This is madness!
What a pity. Who'd have thought your tale would end like this?
Should you demand further proof, a vial with traces of the substance used to poison Her Grace was found upon the assassin's person.
How very convenient.
You would speak of convenience? Who persuaded Her Grace to host this celebration? A diversion which presented you and your confederates ample opportunity to commit the crime, and a crowd within which to fade from view. A more convenient occasion I could scarcely imagine.
How dare you! After all we have done for Uldar!
Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled! I know all about the dark gift that you and your disciples wield. Oh, yes. I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders, bending them to your will. And what of your cordial relationship with Sir Emmerich? For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world, and now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend. I'll tell you what I think. I think this desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces. Your next move will be to charm your Kurthan allies into invading our lands. Now that is truly ridiculous.
How do you even think of this stuff?
She cannot be dead. Stand aside, Ilbert. I want to see the Sultana.
Spare yourself the pain, brother. I saw her with my own eyes. For a mercy, the poison took her swiftly. Her handmaiden can attest to that.
This cannot be. Nanamo. Nanamo. No!
Plainly, the Royalists can no longer be relied upon to keep our nation safe. And so it falls to the monitorists of the Syndicate to govern Uldar. But should you wish to help us, General, we would be more than happy to entrust the task of planning Her Grace's funeral to you. It seems only right that you should bury your precious Sultana, and we will be glad to be rid of that burden.
I'll bet you will. You more than any man.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard!
What rot! Though I did have sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief. She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say her grace was grateful that someone thought to cut her strings.
You would mock her, then mock her from hell!
What?
Have you lost your mind, General? It is forbidden to draw steel in the royal chambers, much less slaughter our fellow syndicate members. You're one of them! You've been in league with the Scions all along!
You're next, you scheming bastard!
Raban!
7 hells!
Admiral, we must leave.
Ah!
How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily.
Take the Scions into custody. They have conspired to commit regicide. And arrest this traitor as well.
Ilbert, I hope you choke on their coin.
'Tis better than the dirt I've supped on these long years. We can't all abandon Alamigo and become great war heroes as you have. You are not the man you once were, Raban. Since that girl strapped the yoke around your neck, you've become docile. She took the mad bull and cut off his balls, and a bull that cannot rot is fit for naught but slaughter. Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana? It was me.
You die! I never doubted you, not for a moment. But there is more to this than I yet understand. Flee this place. Clear your names. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go!
Ah, there you are.
Thancred! Where have you been?
Avoiding the fumbling advances of some very persistent admirers. When I realized the celebrations had turned sour, it seemed prudent to slip away and take stock of the situation. 'Twould appear that much of the city is already under tight guard. It occurs to me that expanding the Brass Blade's authority may not have been such a wonderful idea after all.
The success of this plan was contingent upon those thugs having the run of the place. Just how long has this scheme been in motion?
The careful preparations, the maneuvering of forces. I am inclined to agree with the General's insistence that a deeper plot exists here.
So, would I be right in thinking we now have an excuse to pummel as many brass blades as we like?
Unless you plan on pummeling them all, I'm not sure that will greatly aid our cause.
The Sultana's assassination was but one part of the scheme. We too were its targets. And though we did not share Pornonimo's fate, we are yet hobbled by the charges laid at our door. Where now might we seek refuge?
Where indeed, we may safely assume that our foe is thought to have the Rising Stones watched.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but our choice of destination will matter little if we cannot secure an escape route out of Ul'dah. Happily, I believe I can provide one. Papashan once told me about the passages hidden in the walls of the palace. If I recall correctly, the fireplace in Animo's chambers conceals the entrance to a tunnel. It should lead outside the city and allow us to avoid any messy confrontations.
The rest of you go on ahead. I'll handle this lot.
By yourself? I suppose I shall just have to join you.
Crystal Braves too, huh? Now this should be interesting.
Ida! Papalimo!
We will hold our pursuers here. Hurry, now! Find this tunnel of Thancred's.
Minfilia, we cannot linger!
Now look what you've done.
Ida, are you all right? There are just too many of them.
I'm fine. I could do this all day. How about you?
Nearing the end of my tether.
This is so stupid. We're the scions of the Seventh Dawn. The ones who stand between this realm and the evil that's trying to destroy it.
And if you think we'll leave the stewardship of Eorzea to the likes of your masters, then you're sorely mistaken.
Sorry I dragged you into this, Papalymo.
'Tis hardly the first time, and I'll be damned if it will be the last. Let them have it, Ida!
I was hoping you'd say that.
I never knew such a watercourse existed beneath Uldar.
The architecture is of the Sildine style, if I'm not mistaken. The ancients plainly foresaw the need for a ready means of escape.
This way!
Well, that didn't take long. It seems these tunnels were not as secret as I'd hoped.
You two, go on ahead. Thancred and I will deal with this.
What do you mean to do?
Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow.
Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features.
My friends.
Leave us!
What is the plan, milady? Shall I take the dozen on the left and you the dozen on the right? The odds are not exactly stacked in our favor.
Numbers will count for little when I bring the tunnel down upon their heads. Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being entombed with you for all eternity.
You wound me. I will have you know that many a maid would kill for the chance to spend forever at my side. Now, may I have the last dance? This is going splendidly. Now would be a good time, milady!
'Tis done.
Forgive me, Mitra.
Farewell, Ophelia.
Heidelin, she speaks to me. No. I must remain behind, but you cannot stay with me. Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light. You are hope for the Scions and for all the realm. As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit. You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into darkness. 'Tis the only way.
I am glad to see you safe, my friend. What of the others? Damn that man! Teleji played me for a fool! I thought the Crystal Braves mine till the very moment I felt the blade at my back.
There will be ample time for soul-searching later. For now, we must put some arms between us and Ul'dah.
Well, would you look who it is? Need a ride? I doubt it'll be half as exciting as the last trip we took. Not if I have anything to say about it anyway. Let's not dawdle, eh? All aboard! I was stocking up on supplies over in Vesper Bay, you see, when your sister come up and begged a favour. Said her brother was having some trouble down in Uldar, and likely needed a helping hand getting away. Thinking them ruins would make a fine hiding place, I decided to try there first. And lo and behold, there you were! Aye, and judging by them soldiers as were pouring out of the city, I arrived not a moment too soon. Ha! Must have been fate that we happened to find you there, though, eh?
I had thought to look out for Alize, but 'twould appear she was the one watching over me. I've made such a mess of things.
And who might you be, young sir?
Pippin Taropin, Vice Marshal of the Immortal Flames. I had been on the Alamegan front these past few moons, but an urgent communication called me back to Uldar. Scarce had my boots touched the cobbles, though, when the streets erupted with cries of assassination. I immediately went in search of answers, and came across Master Alfino here. Needless to say, I did not think his imprisonment justified. The blame plainly lies with the Monitorists. Their greed and corruption are well known to me, but for them to take advantage of the situation with such alacrity...
Was that Pippin, you said? Ain't that the name of General Aldin's lad?
Yes, I am his son. Adopted, of course. 'Twas only as we were leaving Uldar that I learned of father's fate. Once I have seen you a safe distance away, I mean to return to the city and extricate him from this madness.
Then you needn't travel no further than Blackbrush. Our fugitives have a friend waiting for them there.
I dreamed of bringing about Eorzea's salvation, but in the end, 'twas I who needed saving.
Aw, man. Them soldiers will keep searching for a while yet. Reckon we'll take the carriage back towards Ul'dah and get the lay of the land. Maybe provide a distraction, if need be. You three wait here. Help will be along shortly. Stay strong, friends. The real fight's to come. All right, let's go. How could I have been so blind? The most unassuming folk can prove to be our greatest allies. The fellow was but a passing merchant, yet he lent us aid without a moment's hesitation, or any hint of concern for his own safety. Though I can well imagine how a man could feel inspired to risk all in your presence. Father spoke often of you, Byrnjolf, and long have I looked forward to our first meeting. Needless to say, this is not at all how I envisioned it. Master Alphino, ye must not give in to despair. That would only play into our enemy's hands, so long as you and Byrnjolf are free. we may still set things right. Forgive me, Marshal Tarapin, but Alphino, my boy! Sorry to keep you waiting. Sid? What are you doing here? Pulling you out of the fire, as usual. Your merchant friend told me everything. Truly? Then he is no merchant, but an angel in peddler's clothing. But tell us, how do you intend to bear our friends to safety? I hid the Enterprise but a short distance away. All I need is a destination. We must find a place beyond the reach of both Monetarist and the Crystal Braves. Quarthus, Ishgard will not suffer the intrusion of foreign forces in their territory. That settles it. With me, everyone. Not I fear. I must remain here. I dare not abandon Ul'dah to the Monetarists and their cronies. You may be certain that they will seek to defame you, both here and in the other city-states, but know that I shall do my utmost to thwart their every effort. Frankly, I do not expect it to be much of a challenge. The small folk will not turn so easily on the Warrior of Light and his allies, no matter what the Monetarists claim. Marshal Terrapin, I know not what to say. Ha! Now that father would labor to believe. But enough talk. You must go, Master Alphino. Your airship awaits. Up, up! There's no rest for the righteous. We should make for Camp Dragonhead and speak with the Lord Haurchefant. Mayhap he will know what to do. Oh, there's my axe. Lord Haurchefant has agreed to grant us succor. He says that we will be safe here. Master Alphino told me your tale, Byrnjolf. It warms my heart that you should turn to me before all others. and I shall endeavor to deserve your trust. Alas, the situation here has grown more complicated in your absence. 'Twould be best if I explained in full. Who managed to escape? And what of those who did not? Is that a little Garuda? Hold on. Wind up Garuda. Yeah, it is. Cute. Now, I don't know if this is the start of Heaven's Ward or not. But, I guess I can get to the beginning part of it. Yeah, it should be fine.
There has been word from the capital. Ishgard has weathered another assault, and 'tis said several wyverns broke through into the city proper. The Temple Knights succeeded in slaying the beasts, but the intrusion prompted orders to further strengthen the guard, and to place the city under a perpetual state of alert. How keenly we feel the loss of our wards at the gates of judgment. Yet we must not bemoan our misfortune. Sir Emmerich is safely returned from Ul'dah, and once more leads the defense of Ishgard. As for the matter of your asylum, I am afraid no progress will be made until the threat to our nation is diminished. But do not despair. You are not without allies. You are more than welcome to shelter here for as long as you wish. Pray, think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The Falling Snows, or some such. All frivolity aside, any who come here in search of you will receive no aid from House Forton. For once, the Ishgardian reputation for inhospitality shall work in our favor. Agents of Ul'dah will find their every inquiry dismissed, and their every request for entry rebuffed, until such time as their masters have acknowledged your innocence. You once fought to preserve the honor of my dear friend. 'Tis a blessing that I may now repay that debt in kind. But let us dwell no more on this. Pray, join the rest of your companions. 'Tis bitterly cold this day. I suspect there are those who might welcome the warmth your presence brings.
The intercessory awaits, Byrnjolf. Pray do not keep your companions in suspense. I am certain their hearts will soar at the sight of you. Yeah, this is most definitely probably the beginning scene for Heaven's Ward. Probably. Oh, still no voices. Alphino? Byrn! Is it really you? I'm so happy that you are. I tried contacting Minfilia and the others, but no one would respond. And then Crystal Braves, our own people, turned on us in the marketplace. Flamin told me to run, and so I did. I ran until my lungs burned and my feet ached. But I lost my way, and then... Fortunately, I had observed some of the Braves' behaving suspiciously beforehand. Did I say Braves'? I meant Braves. Well, whatever. Ah yes, my mask. It was lost in the struggle. Pretty, isn't she? Anyway, after Yugiri found me, we traveled to Vesper Bay and met up with Urianger. When we told him what had happened, he used his magics to weave a glamour around the Waking Sands. From the outside, our old headquarters now looks like an abandoned storehouse. The transformation didn't take long either. Apparently, Urianger started making preparations after the Imperial attack, just in case the Empire ever chose to pay us another visit. Good thinking, eh? Sorry, where was I? Oh yes, so we waited there at the Waking Sands, hoping others would come, but no one else did. My people are searching for the other scions even as we speak. But we have met with no success as yet. I had hoped that you might be able to suggest further places to look. But you should know, the Rising Stones did not share the Waking Sands' good fortune. Only crystal braves await you there. Be that as it may, we yet have cause to hope, do we not? If the two of you escaped, it is not impossible that the others could have done so as well. You may have been forsaken by men and women believed true, but rest assured that the people of Doma yet stand with you. We welcome this opportunity to repay our debts, and shall continue our efforts to locate the others and see the scions restored to their rightful place of honor.
"'Tis all my doing. I believed myself the only one who truly understood Eorzea's woes, and look what that arrogance has wrought. I gave commands, influenced governments with my certainty. I treated the Crystal Braves, and even the Scions themselves, as pawns in my great scheme to save the realm. But in my headlong rush into imagined glory, I paid no heed to the ground upon which I trod. The salvation of Eorzea. What was it that I hoped to achieve? Did I believe that I could rid the realm of every danger and difficulty? That I could defeat the Empire and the Ascians, and find homes for every refugee? Oh, yes. I was so very clever. Become a guardian of Eorzea, I implored, and sat back to watch my perfect army cleanse the land of chaos. It was all but a means to feed my own vanity. Only when all is lost do I finally realize the truth.
Oh, Alphino.
So, Master Alphino, are you content to remain a broken blade? Is there no flame hot enough to reforge you? What of the fine companions who yet stand at your side? I dare say the fires of their determination will soon have you slicing the air again with your customary wit.
I hardly deserve such friendship. And besides, where are we to go?
Alphino, if I may? Should this place not serve our purpose, then we shall go to Ishgard. Minfilia told me many times, as long as we stand fast against despair, the beacon of hope will never be lost to sight. Be it in the snow or in the clouds, we few will see that the dawn's light shines again.
You are right, Tataru. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words, Lord Orchefon. 'Tis true that Eorzea yet has her guardians. The Scions have achieved much, and 'twould be remiss of me to discard it all in a fit of self-pity. Let us then resume our journey, together, one step at a time.
Ah, okay, good. This is some interesting music. Didn't realize there was going to be end credits here. Let's go ahead and skip that.
All has been arranged as you desired, my lord.
Nabrialis is no more. The ardor was not his to invoke. His demise was of his own making. Nevertheless, it concerns me. They have extinguished that which should rightly be eternal. Mayhap he was not wholly mistaken. Greater haste may be warranted. We are of one mind. The northern lands, then? The earth is fertile, and the seeds will sown. By my will, they shall reap salvation unlike any the world has known. By his will. By his will. I have answered thy summons, emissary. Speak, and make thine intent known. I would speak of fate, Archon. Yours, mine, the fate of this very star.
Thou thinkest sanctuary lieth beyond. Delusion, despair, death. Thou shalt find naught else here.
To preserve the dawn's light, the heroes journeyed north. Their hearts filled with hope and eyes fixed heavensward. No matter how long it takes, I have faith we will find the others. With Lady Yagiri's shinobi, Urianje's intelligence, and my versatility, there's nothing we cannot do. Somebody's doing some Ardbert cosplay. Do not hesitate to call upon me, regardless of the hour. My home is your home, and I would see you afforded all comforts and courtesies. Rest and regain your strength, Byrnjolf. You shall have your redemption and your reckoning in due time. And when that day comes, I shall stand at your side. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you when I am ready to play Heavensward. Until then, farewell.